Dragon Ball Super, whether or not you like it or you hate it, a lot of people within the community have different opinions on the overall show in which we saw air from episode 1 all the way until episode 131, and there have been many people in the community that either loved the show entirely or completely hated the show in every single aspect. And joining me here today to discuss Dragon Ball Super and whether or not it was complete trash and how we can fix that going forward is my good friend Danny, also known as Danny Ray Champ on my Discord. As once more, before we begin, if you guys are new to this channel and love Dragon Ball and anime, then don't forget to go on ahead and smash that subscribe button and turn on all notifications to never miss a single upload, alongside checking out my primary channel at UnrealNetwork. Subscribe to that channel in case you guys are unaware, and of course are fans of Dragon Ball content, as we do go on ahead and post frequent content on there, as we are going to be doing alternative discussions on this channel, so make sure you guys go on ahead and subscribe to both. Now Danny, I understand that you feel as if Dragon Ball Super is complete trash, and I don't really want to knock you for that, because there have been moments in Super where Dragon Ball Super was complete and utter garbage, from visuals to story direction to character execution to character explanations, which was a big thing for me. But I want to know from you as to what could Dragon Ball Super do to fix all of the mistakes that we've seen in the original show. And I don't want to knock the original show and say that every single thing that we saw was complete garbage. No, because that's not objectively true. There were certain moments in every single arc where it made the show feel that much more less in terms of value than what we've seen in Dragon Ball Z and possibly even Dragon Ball. And I'll be the first one to say I love Dragon Ball and I love Dragon Ball Z, and to an extent I love Dragon Ball GT, only the Japanese version, not the dub. And yes, I do love Dragon Ball Super. I am an avid fan of Super, even though I felt that the overall direction was skewed so many different times. What I want to know from you is, why do you think Dragon Ball Super was trash, and what could we do going forward whenever Dragon Ball Super is confirmed and or announced to fix the mistakes of what made Dragon Ball Super that much less in terms of an anime into what it could be coming back in the foreseeable future?
Well, in my honest opinion, and a lot of people in the comments are probably gonna be like, "Oh my God, how can he think that?" I think GT is better than Super. I really do, and it's just because Super. First off, I don't count Battle of Gods or Revival of F arc as part of Super.
You're not counting the movies, right?
I don't count the movies or the arcs based off the movies.
Okay.
I only count Universe 6 up till the top, and that's because that's fresh content. Now, why I view it as bad is just because it feels like a not turn of power. Universe 6 felt, it had its flaws, but it was probably the best of the three. We get to Goku Black, and it's just like, what is going on? You have one of the worst characters, in my opinion, Trunks, come back, because he's just a whiner. I can't stand him. You have him come back and then say, "Oh, I can't do this again. I can't win again." Then you have him get all those assholes that he got, the Super Saiyan Rage, learning the Mafuba, somehow pulling the Spirit Bomb out of thin air, as well as somehow knowing how to form that Genki into the Spirit Sword. And I'm pretty sure he also absorbed the Genki into his Super Saiyan form as well. We get Vegito Blue, which is like, oh my God, look at this. Vegito's back. After more than 20 years, we're seeing Vegito again. Vegito doesn't do anything at all. Like, fights merge Zamasu, then just loses. Basically, more or less. He defuses. That's basically a loss. Then we get to Turn of Power, and we have 80... No, let me go back real quick. Then the arc doesn't even end with the heroes actually winning. They have to use a Zeno button to win. So it doesn't, Trunks' universe gets destroyed, so the whole point of the arc becomes moot at that point. Because they basically, the heroes lost. We waited this entire arc just to see them lose. And not necessarily heroes losing is a bad thing. But in the shonen anime, you expect, oh, the heroes are going to win. We get all this build-up just for them to lose. They go through all of this, going back and forth between the future, multiple times, and then they just lose?
Well, it kind of establishes the premise that Zamasu, finally was able to achieve what he wanted to achieve, but I understand where you're coming from. There were certain points of the Goku Black arc where I felt like it was really repetitive, but, nonetheless, I digress.
And sure, there's cool moments in everything, like Turn of Power, Goku Black U6. There's all cool moments. I think one of the best moments of Super is when Goku broke his arms against Merge Zamasu. That was amazing. But that doesn't mean the arc itself isn't bad. And we haven't even talked about Zamasu yet. We're led on this train of, yeah, it's gotta be Zamasu, it's Zamasu, it's Zamasu. Then it's like, oh wait, no, it actually isn't Zamasu. We gotta go find out who it really is then. Oh wait, no, it's Zamasu. The arc would have been so much better if they didn't do this BS of like, oh, Goku Black's the big bad. Just have Zamasu be the bad guy. Focus on him. And I know Goku Black is technically Zamasu, but like, just pick one or the other. We didn't need two villains. Worst comes to worst, have Goku Black go Super Saiyan Rose 2. At the very worst. Like, but going from Goku Black to Tournament of Power, then we get to Tournament of Power. And it's like, we get 80 characters introduced, and I get it. It's the Goku show. But this is one of the reasons why I think GT is better than Super. It's because when GT's the Goku show too. But at the end of the day, it doesn't hide the fact that it's the Goku show. We get to the Tournament of Power, we get introduced to 80 characters. Gohan comes back, Tien comes back, Roshi comes back. And some of them have good moments. Gohan suicides against Dispo. Tien does whatever the heck he did. Toppo just spams Hakai balls. Dispo's wasted. Hit gets taken out like early.
Right. Everyone basically was watered down. There to an extent there is an exception for that, even though I disagree in GT being better. But we do have an opportunity. We saw Dragon Ball Super Broly, and that in and of itself was a fantastic film. I think in visuals, in display, in story. So what do you think we can go forward with in turning Super into a better show? Is it the writing? Is it the visuals? Because we've had so many arguments and debates on our server about visuals versus story, character development versus character explanations in terms of explaining certain techniques and motives for certain characters and whatnot. So going forward, I mean, we can only assume that they're going to come back with Super by introducing the Broly movie in the form of an arc, but if they don't do that, then they're going to jump straight into the Galactic Patrol Prisoner arc, which, you know, till this recording right now is not finished. So how could they possibly jump into an arc that isn't completed when it comes down to the manga, you know what I'm saying? So, but going forward, what I want to know from you is what could they do to fix the story? What could they do to fix the visuals? Like, what do you think needs to be done in order to turn Dragon Ball Super when it comes back into a fantastic, flawless anime? Like what are your thoughts on that?
I need to make this point very clear. The only way that Dragon Ball Super is going to get better, the anime anyway, the manga, you can't really compare it to the manga because the manga has more time. It's just a better product. I know people in the comments are just going to disagree with that, but it's true. Look at the current state of the anime and look at the manga. The only way for the anime to get any better is for us to pull our monetary support from it. That is the only way that it's going to get better. Because the thing is, Toei doesn't care. The people making the anime don't care. They see people like breaking out their wallets regardless of if the product's good or bad because it's Dragon Ball. People see Dragon Ball and like, oh, my childhood, oh, nostalgia, let me buy this product. Like, they aren't going to change anything if they can still make money off of a subpar product.
So you're saying hit them in their pockets. You don't believe in any kind of change in terms of staff? Because I feel like you're right, but wrong at the same time. I think by changing the initial staff and having an actual team could get you far enough. Like, as a good example, with Super when it was around, there were so many problems, there were so many internal problems with staff, with composers and animators, especially animators, because we saw the difference in terms of quality almost every single week. But I think the staff is what's needed to change. Now, we're gonna have lots of people in the comments talk about Yamamoro, Shintani, bring in Takahashi, Shida, blah blah blah, but I think by having a core team, you know, in producing this weekly is what's needed. Instead of getting rid of people here and there and then bringing in different people that have different directions. We've seen interviews before where, you know, they basically laid out the idea and the foundation of what was going on backstage, and that was people had different visions for the character. For example, you had a group of people, you know, taking the Goku character and having a different, you know, vision for him and what they wanted him to do in the show. Some people wanted him to come off completely stupid. Some people wanted him to come off very serious. Some people wanted him to be in between. Just like, for example, Jiren, right? The staff originally wanted to give Jiren the Topo characteristics, right? But Toriyama said no, and thus creating Topo and allowing them to do that and giving Topo what he currently has from, you know, his character traits and being, you know, justice this and justice that and believing in truth and all that kind of stuff, while Jiren was basically, you know, portrayed as the silent kind of assassin, no pun intended to hit, you know, kind of character. So I think it's the staff. Do you not feel like the staff, you know, should change, or at least having a real team around you to where you could focus on each character together? You don't have to worry about, you know, having to have conflictions of direction or conflictions of overall narratives. Like what are your thoughts on the staff in terms of what you can do with that?
Well, of course, if we had a better staff, of course the product would improve, of course. But at the end of the day, is it not Toei the one controlling everything? Are they not the ones, like, appointing people to work on this?
But the thing is, you constantly have different people coming in, and that messes up the narrative and the overall direction of the show. Like, for me, of course, I really enjoy Super. I really do. I give it the benefit of the doubt, and I am an avid fan of it. I'm not a fake fan of Super, but I hate how, you know, there were lots of moments being presented to us where they could have explained things better, they could have, you know, introduced things better. You can't deny that they didn't have any good ideas. They had fantastic ideas, but the execution for these ideas were so bad, and you have to ask the question as to what happened, right? You have Goku Black, you have Hit, you have Jiren, you have Golden Frieza, you have Beerus be introduced, you have all these concepts of Super Saiyan God and Super Saiyan Blue and Rose and Ultra Instinct and Evolution and all this stuff, but like you never had, you know, the right moments of introducing these things and capitalizing them in the best ways, in the best of ways. And I think, you know, solely for that, I would have to blame the staff, because you had internal problems of people having to go to Toriyama and Toriyama having to say no, do this, do that, change this, change that. And, you know, when looking at Toei, it's like people would partially blame them for this because Toriyama would give them an idea and Toei would do something different. So going forward, do you think that what needs to be established is a fundamental team to where they can take the ideas and be steady with it? Or do you think that no matter what they do with the staff, it's just never going to work out? Like what's your take on that and the overall narrative of Toei?
If they have an actual staff, like a team, a dedicated team to this, of skilled people working on this, like Takahashi or other people, he's the only one that comes to mind right now, but like other skilled people work on it, sure, it could be amazing. It could be like the Broly movie. But the thing is, at the end of the day, it all falls on Toei, because they're the ones appointing these people. They're the ones bringing these people in and being like, hey, well, we are going to hire you for this amount of time to work on this product. And as long as people are backing the product, Toei isn't going to change what they do. They're just not. And a lot of people in the comments may be surprised to hear, but I haven't watched the Broly movie. I haven't. Because I'm actually putting my money where my mouth is. I'm not supporting the products. I love Dragon Ball. I really do. I love it. I love it just as much as I love One Piece. But even so, if people are dissatisfied with the product, you watching the show every week isn't going to help it. You watching the movies every week isn't going to help it. You buying the figures and the merchandise isn't going to help the current situation that the anime is in. Because it's bad. It's just bad. You get 80 new characters. Nothing gets done with any of them. Nothing at all. Sure, we got a bit of development for Topo, Jiren, and a few of the Pride Troopers. We got a little bit with the Namekians from Universe 6. But what else we get? 80 characters and nothing's done with them. Nothing at all. You can't explain that. You can't. It's bad. Like, I feel like I'm going in circles, but the anime is just bad. Unless things fundamentally change at Toei, unless they understand that people will not support a subpar product, they're not going to change what they're doing. They're just not. It's not going to change. And now, I implore everybody. What
about in terms of, like, visuals, right? A lot of people often had complaints about how the anime looked, right? I feel like Shintani did an amazing job for Dragon Ball Super Broly, and even though you haven't watched it because you feel as if the product is unworthy of your dollar, I can respect that, but I think that when looking at Dragon Ball Super Broly, it looked visually pleasing. It looked very appealing, and I really enjoyed watching that movie from a visual point of view. Like, what are your thoughts on visuals? Should they stick to like a key or a core team in developing that, or should they just, you know, do something different for a change?
Again, of course, they should have a core team. And like, cool visuals are fine. They're completely fine. Like, cool visuals are like, to an extent, they're sort of what makes the product. But me personally, I prefer a well-rounded story with well-rounded characters that I can actually invest myself in and want them to go far. Sure, this character over here may shoot a cool-looking attack, but at the end of the day, who is this character? What does he do? What is his name? What's his backstory? If I don't get that, then I don't care about the cool attack. I know who Vegeta is. I know what he's about. So when he shoots a cool-looking father-son Gallic gun and Black Arc with Trunks, I'm like, oh, that's cool. I know who Goku is. I know what he's about. When he breaks his arms against Zamasu, cool, that's amazing. But then we get the Namekians. They're fighting Gohan and Piccolo, and it's like, okay, they absorb their people. But what are they like? Not gonna tell us? Why should I care about this fight then? Why should I care about the Trio of Dangers? Why should I care about anybody if we don't know anything about them? And that's one thing that got under my skin when the Tournament of Power was still going on in the manga. People were they excused the anime so much. They were complaining, oh man, Kale just like off-screen so many people when she went into the Demon Super Saiyan form or whatever. I'm pretty sure that's what it was referred to in the manga, Demonic Saiyan. And I remember telling people, like, listen, like, you don't even know these characters' names. So why are you complaining they're getting off-screen? You have no impetus to care about them. Like, at all. But then, in the anime, when they do get shine, you complain, oh, I just want to see Goku and Vegeta, I want to see Goku fight Jiren, I want to see Fusion, I want to see Broly, I want to see Bardock come back for whatever reason. Like, you can't please this fan base, you just can't. And it's all gotten to the point where we need a good story. If we had that, I could excuse, like, all the animation hiccups in Super. I can excuse Dispo looking like a horse. I can excuse Piccolo looking like he has Down syndrome at one point. I can excuse in the I know I said I didn't count it earlier, but it was made by the same people. I can excuse the terrible animation in the revival of F Arc. I can excuse episode 5 of Super. I can excuse that if the story was there, but I can't. I just can't, because the story isn't there for me.
I would have to say, going forward, I think that they really need a good team. I think that they need a consistent team. I think that what they need to do is focus more on the story. In my opinion, people might, you know, think about this in a different way and saying, well, no, they need to do visuals, they need to do this and that. I don't think that Dragon Ball Super will be the perfect anime that we all want it to be, but I definitely think that going forward, there is lots of potential for them to correct a lot of things and at least give us the best Dragon Ball anime they can. So I have hope, but I want to get your thoughts in the comment section below as to how you guys personally feel about Dragon Ball Super returning. What do you guys want to see a part of this anime? Let me know your thoughts down below, guys. Thank you all so much for watching. Once more, if you guys are new to this channel, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, turn on all notifications, slap a like down below, tune back in for more, and I'll be seeing each and every single one of you guys down in the comment section below. Have a great day, everybody. Peace.